Good morning, guys. Hope you guys are doing good this morning. Appreciate you being here. Get chat up. Hey, Dave. What's going on, man? So I've run into a little bit of a problem this morning. I traded some last night and traded some again this morning, and I'm at 3,300 PNL today. So I got to be careful because I don't want to go too much over. Yeah, I'm basically at my limit. According to the 30% rule, at least, I need $11,100 in the account. Yeah, I still have a touch of head cold, but man, I feel pretty good today. Appreciate you asking. Might still be a little frog in my throat in the morning, but so because I'm sitting at 3,300 in P&L, I figured that my choices are either, just trade it, right? But then I run into the problem of tripping the 30% rule. I'm not too terribly worried about it. If I'm being honest, that's the only thing I dislike about these eval accounts is that discourage you from actually trading, you know? That can be a little bit frustrating. So let's see where we're at TPO wise here. Quite a gap down. Quite a gap down. So our next area of value above us is this 400 level, and then beyond that, 25,720-ish, 25,700, all the way back up here. Yeah, my kids are still feeling a little sick this morning. Switching this over to micros, so again, I don't want to go too much over 3,300. because it'll make it infinitely harder to get the payout. All right. Make sure that that's the so you guys can see that on the session here we are negative, a lot of selling. There was a nice divergence this morning here. This is where I took my trades at, this area. But we're coming back down to negative 1,000. So let's see what we get. Then I'm very seriously considering the Series 3 route, man. I had a good chat with, again, the firm this past week, and I guess at some point I'm feeling like I probably want to go the professional route. So this may or may not be one of the last live streams that I do. Simply because the more and more that I think about it, the less that I want to have my personal life out in social media. And that's really the only reason um, why I was doing it, right? Is because I was thinking, hey, I was trying to go maybe the paid course route, but kind of maybe leaning away from that and more towards the professional route rather than just being a trading influencer, because I do believe that I have serious edge, and it's just a matter of, you know, how much of it do I want to give away. What you guys are seeing is just a part of it. Obviously, I've put together a lot of different studies and stats and things like that. I mean, Ben, you know the deal. Like, you've worked in a professional capacity as well. Cool thing is that this is a smaller firm, and so they're just looking for good quality folks. And I kind of lean more towards that, and then possibly creating my own, kind of Christ-centered firm at some point. I have a lot of people asking me to help them with their money, to manage their money, at least their investments, right? Like, I'm not talking about like their kids' college fund and things like that, but people come to me with 5 or 10,000, asking me to do stuff with it for them, and it's like, okay, I can't really legally manage your money. So if I did the Series 3, became a CTA, that would at least give me an option to do that. So that's kind of what I'm thinking, man. And yeah, I've enjoyed getting to know you guys, but I don't like having to, I guess, the obligation of streaming or putting out content or any of that stuff. So it's just, like I said, I've never really wanted to be a trading influencer, and the stuff that I see on X is just nauseating. I'm sure you guys Sure you guys feel the same way about it. So, but obviously, I'll let my community know what I decide to do. Not gonna leave anybody hanging. But at the same time, I got to do what's right for me and my family, and kind of what where God is guiding my heart. So awesome. Thanks for that, Dave. Feel like we're gonna get another push down here. If you guys look, the order flow is leaning pretty heavy. Right. Excuse me, pretty heavy that way. So let's see where we open up at here and see what happens. I did switch over to micros. Like I said, I don't want to push it too much. Get Apex mad at me. We got all these VWAPs over our head now. Week, month, quarter. I'm gonna go ahead and say that we're selling off here. Do have a naked POC here. Could easily get down there or lower. Somebody was asking me about whether or not I reset my order flow stuff at the open, and yeah, I do, but I also like to see, it's good to know, hey, like we're actually opening in the negative today. I think it gives a layer of context. So I'll hang out with you guys here for a little while, probably till 10:30. No news today, so I kind of figured that the order flow should be pretty clean. I bet I'm working on all kinds of stuff. All kinds of stuff. Turn the IB on here. Just see where it opens up at. Cool. Hey Steve, how are you this morning? Kind of got rejected from Monday's IB area. Got a big high volume node up there. There's a little bit of one right along in here. 300 level, 400 level. Excuse me. So let's see what we get. No, the fixed range volume profile is just volume. All right, we've got. Okay, I'm going to switch back to our TH view. See how our delta is kind of neutralizing there? All right, so we do have a gap from here. All right. I'm going to go along with this. See how we've got laminar alignment in price and our order flow. Everything's in alignment. We opened inside of yesterday's IB. Little pullback. Like to see it pull back to here. Those I'll add. This is the gap. So this is basically yesterday's RTH session. Kind of bumped our head on this little node. Looks like we're going to continue going up here. I'll keep that up for you guys. Maybe it'll help somebody. Order flow still climbing. I would imagine that we are, let's see, so we're positive now on the day, order flow wise. So that's good to know. All right. This is the single most important level on the chart, whether or not you are positive or negative. So we're now positive on the day. Yep. A lot of aggressive buying. Back to RTH. You guys see that, how this aggressive buying overpowered these kind of passive sellers here. Guys, this doesn't have to be complex. It can be simple. You don't have to go crazy with a bunch of stuff in your charts. Just get yourself in alignment with the order flow. I'll probably exit this 2K. Let's see. Pushing the IB up. I'm watching really this leg and this leg here. They're in alignment with each other. There's really not a lot of friction through here, right? Price is able to traverse this area with ease. Minor divergence there. You can see it. Might be enough to push us back down to neutral. But otherwise, they're in alignment with each other. Let's focus on this recent volume here. So this is just this leg. One of the things that you always have to ask yourself is effort versus result. So I think we can agree that there's a fair amount of effort, and the result was price climbed. So that tells me that for now the buyers are still in control. Let's see what happens when we get up here. Appreciate you guys all being here this morning. Like I said, this may end up being one of my last live streams. Watch what happens when it gets up to here. R to RTH high. Does it go through it? It goes through it. Quite a bit of strength. What's up, Big Jake? Appreciate you being here, man. This 2K level is important here, guys. Looks like it wants to pop. If it does, we'll probably make a new high, I would imagine. Still this gap. Might see a retest of this. Some absorption going on here. Anytime that you've got price that's dropping and order flow that's rising, it's absorption. I really don't concern myself too much with what price is doing. I'm watching this. See if it pops through here. It's stable, it's good to know. Like I said, for those of you guys that are watching, I'm trading very light. I traded last night and I traded this morning as well, and I'm currently up 3,300 on this account. So right now the account balance is $4,290. I can, just don't really want to lock in a bunch more profit because I'm basically right at the 30% rule for the $11,100 profit target. Nice, brother. Charles, your commitment, man, is profound. Well, since the two of you just got on there, I was just going to tell you guys, and I've said it already a couple times this morning, that this may end up being one of my last live streams. And that's primarily because I am, and some of you guys already know this, right? Because I've talked to you guys about it before, but I'm a very private person, and so for me to put myself out there on the internet is counterintuitive um, to what I was trained to do in the military. You know, a lot of times I operated under an alias, and I just don't know that it's worth it, right? Like, I'm making good money as a trader, and I'm very grateful for that. So we're hitting the 2K level. This is going to be important, guys. If this thing pops through this thing, it's going to run, and it looks like it's going to. So, you know, I'm blessed to have this skill set, and I've shown bits and pieces of my edge, not really the full thing yet, but you know, there is a part of me that's kind of like, just doesn't, something doesn't sit right, right? It has nothing to do with you guys in particular. It's really just, I think, with the whole trading space on X in general. Um, it's super toxic, and I don't like having to, you know, to post in order to get engagement, things like that. Like, whatever affiliate commissions I would make from Apex or whatever core sales that I may have later on, I just don't know that. I just don't know that it's worth it. Sweet, man. It makes me happy. I'm sure that you guys can all relate. I mean, I've talked with a lot of you guys on a personal level, and I think, you know, everybody that's on the stream right now, like, we're normal people, right? We're not, you know, we're moms, we're dads, we've got kids, etc. And none of us are doing this for Lambos. There might be one or two of you that are, but I think the rest of us just want to create a good life for ourselves. And I've been able to do that, and it's just, it's wonderful, it's amazing. But at the same time, you know, there's a part of me that's like, dude, what am I doing? Like, I would not be on social media at all if it were not for this kind of, you know, this push to get these affiliate codes or sell a course. So all right, you guys can see there's just a little reaction here at 2K. Still holding a micro long. I still feel like our momentum's up. We got no news today too, so it might end up being kind of a rangy day. You see we're out in the TPO. So we are above the overnight value area, or I'm sorry, we're not above the value area, but we're basically above the POC. Looks like it tried to get above the previous day's VWAP and value area. And it kind of dropped. I will tell you guys, when you look at the order flow from a long-term perspective, there's really been nothing but selling since like April, May. So I do feel like we're at a point where the market's about to shift, and these banks and hedge funds have been selling in our faces for the last, like, you know, 6-8 months. So don't be surprised if things really roll over. I'm sure that there'll be some kind of global macroeconomic event that triggers all of it. Of course, there has to be, right? Basically center mass with the IB right now, which still has not closed. We still got another 45 minutes on it, but I'm not seeing any really turbulent selling in the order flow. Like if you look at this move down here, this is a good example of things that I look for, right? I look for price to continue to drop lower, and we get this nice divergence here between price and the order flow, right? This turbulent order flow right here. That's telling you that there's absorption taking place. And really, when you look at it, there's just not a lot of turbulence. There's some right here. So if our order flow breaks higher, then I think that we'll continue to go up. Yep. Let's see if we can pop through this 2K level here. Again, kind of a rangy day. Dude, there's some momentum in the market. All this energy, right? Look at this since the open. Boom. That's a whole lot of energy going up. Look at that. Nice alignment between price and order flow. There's no reason to exit this until we get some kind of, friction point, some kind of friction in the order flow. Sorry, I'm not trying to jiggle the charts around you guys. Oh, let's look at the TPO. So now we are outside of the overnight value area, which is this, basically. So we had come down here. Right, come down, kind of retested lower, built out, spent some time here, built out some time and some volume, and now we're trading above that. So it's going to go, now that we've kind of left this value area, it's got to test higher. Either this guy or this up here. One of the things that you guys can do to determine whether or not a move is legitimate is, again, just kind of ask yourself how much effort was put in, right? So how much effort was put in and what was the result? So we have pretty good effort, pretty good result. So it tells you that this is an actual, right? We're starting something here. So I'm going to close this up. We're going to focus on this leg right here. Awesome. Dave's always got the Jack's insights. I appreciate it. So I'm looking for, again, that turbulent order flow. You can see that on this move up, we got up here. There's really no turbulence in the order flow. It went up, kind of went down. But to add into this, we want to see a formation, you know, like this, something like this. Tells us that there's an absorption taking place. Maybe a confluence with kind of a low volume node area. We get a little bit of a kind of a micro divergence here. See how price is kind of diverging. Okay, I would expect it to bounce here. Unless it pops all the way through and goes down to this one. Order did not get filled. That is interesting. Okay, it did get filled. Watching to see if we break this. I don't know if you guys caught that, but I added right there. I'm just going to close the whole position. Like I said, I don't want to go over too much. So you guys got me for the next probably 30 minutes. I'm not in any positions. I'm up $3,480 on the day. The account is at $4,475. We need $11,100 for a payout. Sorry, I didn't mean to delete that. Definitely getting some turbulence through here. You guys can see that there is a divergence. What's going on, GJ? You guys can see how there's quite a bit of stalling coming into the order book right here. This is 250 tick chart, 250 trade chart, depending on the software you're using. So if these this order flow starts to break down from here, if it does, then I imagine that we will go back to here, here, here. Yep, 250 tick chart. Yep, we're going lower. $28 minutes left in the IB. This could be the IB high. $368. Let's see, where's that at on the TPO? Yep, you guys can see that we started to kind of test the bottom part of this, and it did not pop through it. Thanks, Jake. Appreciate that, man. You guys can see how the order flow is lifting right here, right? Subtle little divergence there. Clean some of this up. They might rotate it back up. It's got to get back up above this level though, this 2K. Oh, that's not what I want. Yeah, get a little pop in it. Still gap overhead. Doesn't mean we have to fill it, but order flow momentum is definitely up. I'll be right back, guys. All right, I'm back. Yeah, I think buyers really want it. It's a nice divergence. This is tough trading. You guys have to understand that too. In that, uh, you know, 100 something point range here, and it can be tough to trade this. I've told you guys before, my best trades always come from big drops or big rallies, because that's when there's, I think, real edge in the order flow, is seeing those big time divergences show up. And it can be kind of tough like this, right? Like we've had kind of our initial push in order flow. It's been somewhat effective, but yeah, there's a lot of passive selling. But it's really not about, to me, it's not about, again, imagine trying to be an ICT trader this morning, right? You get wrecked, and you can chew up trying to predict everything and prophesize everything. And again, I trade the order flow. And if so, I was going to tell you guys is that, you know, if your order flow is positive, then your longs are probably just going to work out better than your shorts are. So you got to keep that in mind, right? Put the full session back on. Oh, it's not going to show my trades from earlier because I was trading on NQ, not MNQ. Yeah, it looks, I mean, again, from a VWAP standpoint, I think us struggling to get above this right here is an important note. I would not be surprised if it rotates back down. TPO wise, we did not make it back into this value area, so we're kind of stuck right between these 2 points right now. The good news is that if it breaks, right, you guys got to think ahead a little bit. If it breaks, it might be hard to kind of read that short. But if it breaks, guess what? Boom. You got some juicy stuff down here for a long. Maybe you catch a little piece of the short. So we're back inside of the overnight value area. Dude, yeah. They want it, Charles. They want it. They want it. They want it. Look at them. Oh, man. What is going on with my chart? I just realized that it's... Hold on. I'll fix this. Sorry, guys. Why not short it? It's a good question. For me personally, I like to short or long when we are overextended. To me, this is still very rangy. Could go either direction. So that's just kind of how I look at it, right? If I'm going to short, I want to be shorting when my order flows up here, 4K, etc. And also I want to see an extension in price. I don't have that right now. What we have right now is a ton of aggressive buying. So sure, there's some absorption that's taking place, but dude, this buying is, I mean, you said it yourself, right? Like it's, there's a lot of buying. This tells me that price wants to go up. Right? What? I don't want to fight against this. Against this? Right? And now it's like, again, it's starting to kind of take effect. I look at this as an advertisement, right? This to me is the intentions of the market, right? Like in my last post, I think I said something to the effect of that the order flow drives volume, which drives price, which drives studies and indicators. So when I you can look at this little divergence right here, right? This is kind of a key thing too. So we see that, let me get rid of this other stuff. Okay, just look at it from an order flow standpoint, right? This is going up, this is going down. So somebody's selling it, right? But it's being gobbled up, it's being absorbed. You're looking at it like the absorption's going this way. I'm looking at it like the absorption's going this way. And when I see stuff like this, right here, right? This kind of, I see buying, I see price, right? The advertisement. It's dropping, but they're gobbling it up. And then we know that it's buying because of this break, right? It confirms that it's buying when it does this. So, yeah, right. And then I just go from like alignment to alignment. So, you know, I'm not looking at all this right now. I'm looking at this. So from here, right? Okay, so you have this little divergence. Price breaks. Gosh, that's a terrible straight line. Price breaks. Our order flow breaks. They're in alignment with each other, right? They're both going up. So right now the buyers are in control of this. And I'm always checking these tops and bottoms, right? Top, checking the matching top. All right, our tops are in alignment. Now, what's happening here? Our bottoms are out of alignment, but which one is pushing up? This one, right? Our order flow is still pushing high. So until there is a misalignment, right, between our order flow and price, there's no reason to get out of this trade. Again, I'm not in a trade, but I just kind of go from alignment to alignment. So we see that they're in alignment with each other now. And I would imagine that this is not going to reverse until we get up to probably 3,500, 4K. Now, from a distribution standpoint, like from day to day to day to day, over the last year, this is quite a bit of volume for it to hit 3K. We are above the normal distribution for buying. Okay, I'm just going to pull a profile for this leg up. Again, I apologize. I don't know why in the heck this chart is not going all the way to the top here. It's going to aggravate me. Still not. Let me reload and recalculate this. Nope, still didn't fix it. My shortcuts are gone too. It's definitely got a steep learning curve. All right, our IB is about to be solidified here. Our flow still pushing up. So let me just take a look at this. This is just to get my thought process here. You guys see that we've, all right, so all-time high is way up here in the red. We've got this big gap, and all that we have this morning is aggressive buying. Aggressive buying that is at a level that we have not seen in some time. It is above the statistical average for buying days. So do you guys think that this is accumulation or distribution through here? Starting to get some kind of crossing, some turbulence right here. No, not that far back. Look at what's happening here. Those of you guys that were not on earlier, I was just telling you guys that this will probably be one of my last live streams that I do. Again, just kind of thinking about taking my trading career a different route. Never wanted to be a trading influencer. Had the idea that I might create a course and sell it at some point, but again, I just don't know that the social media piece is worth it. We still have good alignment here, guys. There was a slight divergence, but it popped through it. So I hope that I've given you guys something of value. Just open up your eyes to maybe a more simplified way to look at your order flow. So IB set, it's kind of testing the top side of the IB. And we're at this distribution on the TPO. We had an inside bar, inside period, but now we are above value and looks like we're wanting to go higher. hope you're seeing that, Charles. Just an absolute boatload of buying. Aggressive buying. Let's see if we can spot short opportunity. And then I'll probably pull off here. I have a tree down in my neighborhood that I need to go cut up for some more firewood. It's not it's been down for a little while, so it's pretty well. It was down over the summer, and thinking about going, taking the kids and getting out. It's cold as heck here, but it's sunny, so it'd be a good day for us to get out, get the kids out, run the chainsaw a little bit, have them throw some wood in the trailer, and just have a fun day. So then I think, let me double check the schedule or the weather here, but I think that we're supposed to get some snow this weekend. Yeah, they're saying like 4.5 to 5 inches on Saturday, 1.5 inches on Sunday. So my kids will be excited about that. And I do not see any reason to start shorting this yet. It's pretty chilly for you guys. I've got a brother that lives down there, and I think he's in Largo. He's a half brother. We're honestly not very close, but I'm surprised that he's not texting me telling me how cold it is. Guys, we do have a big liquidity void right here. Right? So price just passed through that area quickly. And what's fascinating is that you have this push down, right? Somebody was selling it with limit orders, and then they just gave up because you know that they gave up because of how quickly price passed through this with no friction whatsoever. Friction being liquidity, or being, when I say liquidity, I just mean limit orders, right? So all of those limit orders that were kind of suppressing price as it went down, they just pulled them. Boom. And when price has no resistance against it, right? It passes through these vacuum areas very quickly. Yeah, it's fine. They still have good alignment with each other. So again, there's a slight divergence on the tops, but I don't know that it's enough to push it lower. Still feel like this thing has got some more legs on it. $3,500 is pretty good amount of buying, that's for sure. I think it's pretty clear which direction they want to take it. It's going to take a tremendous amount of selling to flip this thing and come back down into the value area. Certainly quite possible. I'd be surprised if it did it. Almost filled the gap. You can see a little more clearly now, right? So this is our TPO value area. Value area high, value area low, POC. Okay, so this is a big moment here. Whether or not we pop through this on the order flow chart. Okay, so we filled the gap. Gap-ish. Again, I didn't necessarily plot that super duper accurate, but so we broke above the IB and gonna watch to see if we break this low here. That will kind of confirm the shift for us. Yep, looking like it wanted to drop. I would not want to be trying to long into this gap, and the fact that we are kind of far along here in our order flow. There is a little turbulence going on here. Looks like it's, yeah, it's wanting to break lower. So the big test here is going to be this level, 3K. This is a fair amount of selling right here. Do appreciate you guys being here. It does mean a lot to me. Yeah. Throw on a flannel and some pants and you're good. You don't even need a jacket really, unless it's raining. I went to scuba school, U.S. Army scuba school in 2003. And I remember, again, we were in Key West, and they were like, hey guys, when you leave, like on the weekends, like we had weekends off to rest and recuperate, so they'd let us go out. But I remember them saying, hey, when you leave, you know, take an extra shirt because you're going to get rained on every day. And basically that was true. I mean, even in the summer we got rained on. So I realized, I mean, I think I was down there for 6 or 8 weeks, and after a while I just stopped wearing a shirt altogether. You guys can like the video, I appreciate y'all. Oh yeah, nice push down. I feel like this might be the top, boys. I know some of you guys are from the UK. Please excuse my terrible British accent. I thought it might be time when we got this kind of weak, oops. A weak bit of a divergence there between price and the order flow. Nice, man. Charles, guys, Charles, you need to just start your own YouTube channel, man. When I stop my YouTube channel and close out my social media, you just pick up the slack where I left off, okay? Dave, was there a Jex level up there? I don't remember what you said. Well, it filled the gap, so. You only share winners. Hmm. Hey, you can make a fortress, gosh. You can make a fortune on social media just manipulating people with sim accounts and sharing your winners, man. That's what all these kids do. It makes me sick. Then they want to post all this trading advice. Yeah, I'm sure some of you guys saw the comment I made the other day. I forget the account. I've seen the guy before. Steve Burns, I think, is who it was. And again, I have no idea what his background is, but I assume that he had 700,000 followers on X, that he was like a legit trader. So I just kind of perused, scroll through his profile, and it's all just this crappy trading cliche stuff. Like he's not helping anybody. Just post after post after post of, and again, it's automated posting, right? But like, let your winners run, cut your losses early, make sure you use a stop loss, and it's like, it's just disappointing. Just disappointing to me. Was he like a prominent trainer at one time? Yeah, I know he's a $600 course and books. And here I am, like, busting my butt trying to live stream every day. And I've got, less than 1,000 followers. So, hey, check it out. We got a little bit of turbulence right here. Could be a swing low here, setting up. Yes, I agree. Okay, so we're tapping into the value area. This is still not a buy for me yet. Not a buy, not a buy, not a buy. Nice. Good trade. Yeah, the big issue that I have is, again, just all the rebranding and stuff that goes on, but all these kids, right? These 23-year-old kids who are selling rebranded, repackaged ICT stuff to try to get you to sign up for their Telegram channel. And you guys know I'm a Christian. ICT has said that he's a believer. Um, I feel like he must feel conflicted, right, with lying, misrepresenting facts. But the big thing is that I do not like trading systems that teach people how to like try to prophesize the future. Oh well, we wicked this high, so now we're going to sell off all the way to the Globex low, and just stuff like that. Like, it's not practical. Hey, Basil Trades. Appreciate that, man. First time I've seen you on here, so thanks for saying so. Thank you, darling. Give you that. Thanks, babe. You look cute, whatever. Basil, I've not seen you on here before. How did you find the stream? Just curious. Hey, wait a minute. I'm supposed to be cutting firewood. Basil, this is the first time I've seen you on here, man. How did you find the Oh, okay. Cool. I've actually been considering, some of you guys have heard me, right, of stopping the live streaming. Because I'm definitely absolutely considering getting my Series 3 and doing this on a professional level, and I don't want to give all my edge away. So what you guys are seeing right now is just kind of a glimpse of things, but I don't mind helping. I appreciate that, Blizz. I've been through too much, man, in my military career to BS anyone. You know what I mean? And then also as a dad, like when you have four kids, um, God has just given me a tremendous amount of perspective, right? Having um, fought in GWAT in two different continents and seeing what I've seen, lost all the friends that I lost. I mean, just some really, really solid guys, much better men than me, and to have to, you know, go to their funeral service and talk with their wives, and to transition from that, right, from that military service, and getting wounded myself, breaking my back in a military free fall accident. Like God just absolutely humbled me through all of that. My identity used to be, being a Green Beret or being a Delta guy. And my identity is no longer that. My identity is now Christ and a dad, a husband, a trader. And so I'm just grateful to be having, that he's brought me through all that. And so I had very, very low tolerance for the BS that we see. Yeah, Charles, I agree 100%. It's funny because I've had a lot of long conversations with multiple AI bots, you know, and they're all like, hey, and again, I've uploaded years worth of chart data, and they're like, hey, this is pretty cool, but we can't create an algorithm to do what you do. It's like, oh, okay, well, hmm. I agree with you, Dave. I used to compare myself to all my teammates and other friends, but I realized that I was comparing myself to the wrong person, right? Yes, Basil, I agree. So, I guess that's kind of why I'm like leaning towards pulling the plug on it. There are some good guys out there, and I've learned from them, and I appreciate it. But again, when I tune in to Ninja Trader, like again, just the same thing this morning. Hey, I am glad that some new folks are coming just based on the YouTube algorithm itself. Yeah, so I'm looking at again the Ninja Trader feed. We got Merritt Black, who obviously has a level of, you know, actual prop firm trading. Z from Order Flow Labs, and then we've got like, you know, 2 ICT traders with what appears to be some kind of RSI on the right. And they're not showcasing NinjaTrader's order flow. The whole industry is just chock full of crap like this, right? Just anything to get engagement. I just can't get behind that. It's sad. Yep, I see it. You're right, Charles. Bullish divergence. There you go, buddy. Huh? Again, when I get into these trades, right, I try to take profits quickly. Yeah, it is. Okay, let's go back to this real quick. I want to straighten out this whoops. Nice. Oh, you missed it? Well, we're testing the IB high, so I'm not nuts about going long into the IB, but again, if you just kind of trust the order flow. Let me get rid of that and redraw it. Do you use hotkeys, Charles, or are you using a DOM to enter your trades, or DOM? We've had several nice divergences this morning. So this is an important point here that we're coming up to, guys. This RTH high. Oh, come on, man. You got to get with the times. You got to use hotkeys. This is one of the main reasons why I don't really use like a hard stop. Is because I literally have 4 hotkeys that I use. I have a buy key, sell key, a close and cancel all key, and then I have a break even key. So when I do put a stop in, right, I can break even it. Yep, it longed right out. And this is okay, so this is an important point here too, guys. Like, you guys can see this IB, right? And I have this on here because people ask me about it all the time. Well, Spec, what about the IB? And these horizontal levels will eat you up. All right, they're nice when there's some confluence, but they're also will get you eaten up, right? Trust the order flow. Learn to read the order flow. Again, if you're an IB trader, I guarantee you that somebody's out there looking at some IB stats and they're saying, hey, we broke the IB, so we should buy it. They bought it. What happened? It went right back. And then they break it, right? And then they say, well, if price came back inside of the IB after the IB is formed, then we should short the IB. And they short it. And then what happens, right? You get wrecked again. So these kinds of horizontal levels, I have, again, you guys know I like previous days VWAP. I'll put them on my chart, but you will get wrecked using this kind of stuff time and time again. So we got a little reaction there, right, off that RTH order flow high. I did get a new subscriber. Thanks, guys. "16 minutes ago. Sedenic Callus. Thank you, brother. I thought about maybe just either live streaming once a week or doing a video once a week. Because it is a little bit of a distraction, right? To trade, articulate what you're seeing to others who are listening. But I think overall the experience has made me a better trader. I'm grateful for that. Still a huge gap overhead. We are one time framing up. If we can break above this swing. So momentum is up. Just pan out a little bit. You guys can see the much larger gap up here. That's a lot of space. That's a lot of space. It's like 300 points. Yes, I enjoy trading with hotkeys. And again, that's one of the main reasons why I kind of stopped using hard stops, because I just found that hotkeys a lot more fluid. And I mean, if I'm sitting here and I'm actively trading, I can watch price and I can watch my order flow, and you can see, right? You just have to have the discipline to exit your trades. Which a lot of people don't. Well, the reason for that is because, again, when you're streaming, I just kind of want you guys to focus on basic things. You don't have to have a ton of studies or indicators or any of that stuff. I do like a volume profile, but as far as order flow goes, I like the deltas, right? Try to keep them clean, just like right now. Like our delta is positive. It's been positive since RTH. Got a little bit of a divergence that's kind of going on here. The order book is getting a little bit long in the tooth. What do I mean by that? Well, it may reverse at any point in time, right? But I've really gotten away from all the other stuff. In my mind, I'm always thinking, where is their order book density, right? So like this area right here is a really good example of it, which corresponds with this area right here. It doesn't take a genius to look at this and say, well, hey, it spent some time here. But what you see right here is kind of these opposing forces, opposing vectors, buyers and sellers battling it out, right? And who won? Aggressive buyers won out of this little microcosm in the order book, right? So if price breaks this, or delta, more importantly, if delta breaks through this, then that tells you that the buyers and the sellers that were or the buyers that were engaging right here, that they've capitulated, they've quit. But right now, right, and then we have price. So I talked with you guys about this earlier. Like, you have selling right here. This leg down, there's some selling, but whoever sold it basically just completely evaporated, because price was able to move effortlessly through this kind of vacuum of orders. So we did not get a bunch of, follow-on liquidity to kind of, really support the sellers to push this thing lower, at least not yet. If we would have, right, if the sellers were super serious about it, and they were aggressive in their selling, there'd be all kinds of liquidity that accumulated here, and price would not have shot right back up into it. So I'm always looking at energy, I'm looking at friction. And so this is a high friction area right here. And it's going to go from one high friction area to another. Now this right here could develop into an area. But I think we can all agree that there's a lot more friction right here in this space than there is right here currently. These areas like this, guys. Oops. I want to draw an ellipse. Right? That's super sweet right there. You don't have to catch the whole move. You don't have to be right on the day, or, again, prophetic in your interpretation of the market. All you gotta do is catch a little piece, make a few $100. Dude, look at this. These buyers, man, they are unrelenting. I might take a short right here. Like I said, I'm up almost $3,500. I don't want to go up too much more on this Apex account, because I'd like to get a payout. Apply for the payout in 2 weeks. I think this is day 3 or 4. Kind of got not a slow start on it, but we were sick, and yeah. So we've got another little friction area here, and buyers came out on top. One time framing up. Plot this here, so that's the value area low. We've got a POC here, just so that would just show up here on this tactical chart. Whoops, that's the tick. Okay, so this right here is that value area low from the TPO, and this is the POC from the TPO. Yeah, my decision to short really would just be based on what I'm seeing in the order flow. ideally with some kind of confluence, but, you know, one of these levels. Let's look at the strategic chart. Again, we're nowhere near the previous quarter's VWAP. Some of you guys know that I do like to look at the tick charts. Man, they're banging. Ticks making highs. Pretty strong buy on the equity side on both the ES and the NQ. Not as strong on the S&P. I said ES, I meant S&P. But nevertheless, there is buying on both of those. Again, I kind of keep these in the background. It's hard for me to get it all on stream for you guys. A little bit of a selling divergence here. See as sellers aggressively step in. Not crazy, but noteworthy. Probably will bounce here. Again, I appreciate you guys being here. If you can like the video for me, the stream, I'd appreciate y'all. Looks like it's gonna break it. So our next area is kind of this guy right here. Definitely a break in the order flow, divergence. Right, let's see how things are shifting subtly. Doesn't necessarily mean that this is the new top. Again, we filled the gap, but you can see that it's not as aggressive, right? Our buying is not as aggressive as it was earlier. Very aggressive out of the gate. Boom. Another big aggressive push. Not quite as aggressive now. See what it does. If this breaks down, it'll probably drop. But it goes up, then it'll leg up again. Let's see. Ooh, it's a lot of selling there. All right, I'm going to pan out and let's just see what these legs look like. I like to break up my FBRPs. Hey, my chart's displaying properly again. It's great. So we definitely have some density down here. Order flow is making new lows, price is making new lows. So they are in alignment with each other. Looks to be like to the downside here. Again, not many trades. Order flow is not confirming that little pop in price just yet. There we go. Something. Again, these are too big. Maybe big's not the right word. Important levels. So order flow breaks through this, and we're going back down. Not the strongest leg of buying I've seen. Order flow still tugging down on price. Yep. All right, let's see how low they take it. Again, remember me talking to you guys about areas of density and opposing forces, opposing vectors, very turbulent areas, right? Previously, there were strong buyers here, strong-ish. Now they've kind of flipped, right? There's all this chatter and noise right here. Sellers overpowered them. So where's the next area? High density down here. There's a lot of energy that was stored right here. Right? There was a lot of energy that was stored right here and it was just released. So remember that if we have aggressive buyers here and price rallies, then they're going to backfill that with limit orders, aka liquidity. Now, here's the thing. Do you see how quickly price is passing through this area now? Does it seem like there's a lot of resting liquidity here? No, there's not. So price is basically falling through a vacuum right now until it reaches an area of density that actually has some limit orders that are going to support it. So let's see if we get a clear sign of absorption here to try to take along. Okay, there's some. It's pretty quick. Yes, ma'am. Oh, you want me to fix that for you?
Yeah,
okay. All right. You want me to fix it right now?
Yes.
All right. Daddy will fix it. All right, guys. I will be back shortly. I got to go fix a tiara. Be right back. All right, tiara fixed. Let's take a look at that last little long that I was considering taking. I did not take it. Oops. Didn't want to raise that. Right here. And you kind of break this down line upon line. Remember, we talked about areas of density, right? So we've got this, which corresponds with that area there. Volume profile standpoint, right? It's a high volume node. So let's look at this even closer. I saw it lifting pretty quick. You guys can see that. Quick little change in the order flow. A little bit of a divergence here. And this is tough to choose, you know, swing highs, swing lows when price really, you know, hasn't moved. Hasn't moved a whole lot. Right? Like it's still, well, we are, you know, in an uptrend, but at the same time, like it's not exactly the most profound movement in the history of trading here. Right? Like this is our distribution. Pretty balanced, really. I mean, it's kind of gradually been grinding up, but let's see if the sellers that kind of pushed down right here, if they're serious about holding this. I'll stay out here till 12 o'clock, you guys. Probably go get some firewood. Again, this is that value area low from the TPO chart and POC from the TPO chart. Right here. Still one time framing up. Except we're about to break it again. Ooh, some selling. See how there's, again, kind of a shift in the order book. Prices kind of equal highs, but yet we're still 800 contracts or 800 trades, right? To the short side. Let's see if the sellers can overpower the buyers here. Definitely some aggressive selling coming in. Oh yeah. Sellers breaking new lows here in the order flow chart. Here comes the illustrious initial balance high. Feel sorry for the IB traders. That's all that you're trading on. You're getting wrecked. Okay. Whoops, I didn't mean to move that. Let's see if we can catch some kind of micro divergence here, and I'm not taking any trades lately because I'm sitting at 3,500. Let's just take a look at this. Maybe we'll catch something here. I don't mind doing with the micro. So we're kind of looking for a micro divergence between price and delta. A little bit of one right there. See how there's some kind of opposing forces at work here, right? I hope that you guys are seeing this. Okay, I'm gonna buy one micro. Again, it's not a prediction. I'm not saying it's going back to the top. I'm not saying anything other than that little micro divergence is enough for me to try to scalp along. Now, ideally, it would be happening someplace, like some kind of other order flow level. But it's not, and it's okay. I'm just trying to give you an example. But you guys can see that, right? The only way that you would not see that is if you had Coke color glasses and you were cross-eyed. Now they're back in alignment, so it's like, okay, this looks to me like saw this little divergence right here. Okay. Let's see if it holds. Again, it's not in heavy. It's not even a great trade location. But just trying to show you, you know, somewhat of an entry signal, I guess. Now their bottoms are kind of in alignment, so it may continue to drop lower. Not an A+ setup. Probably a C. This is like you're desperate for a trade. You just need to get a trade in to make Apex or your prop firm happy. All right. Now our order flow is continuing to push lower here, so got to be careful. Yep, I don't think this one's gonna hold. See how heavy they're selling it? Not convinced that this is going to hold. So if we drop from here, which I'm kind of feeling like that's what we're leaning towards, where do we go? I'm going to look at this on a, we're going to go to a 5, let's go to a 512. 512 tick chart. So if we break this, which right now the order flow is pretty heavy to the downside, right? Like you've got all this push. I would look to delta neutral for sure. It's the most important level on your chart. Tells you whether or not the buyers or sellers are in control. So we get to pull back toward this. That's telling you something, right? Basically means that all of those positions are now liquidated. And so either price is going to be higher or it's going to be lower or equal to, but this is an opportunity where you would expect, right, whoever the buyers were that initiated over here at the open, that they would want to rebuy it, right? So kind of how I look at it, some of these other levels may be valid, but did get a little pop on that. See, that wasn't so hard. You know, I wouldn't have done that with a full size just because it was, again, not A plus kind of trade location, but decent, right? You're trying to build up a small personal account. Hey, take 70 bucks. Take 70 bucks. Do that a few times a day. Or if you trade a small prop account, right, a retail prop account, dude, it doesn't have to be, you know, a ton of money. I'm gonna close that. Again, just kind of a little example trade of what I'm looking for. Again, this wasn't even a clean setup. I just spotted a handful of divergences in it. Order flow is still leaning bearish to me. We just can't seem to quite get it back up to that value area. Here comes the IB yet again. So if we break this, right, looks like we're failing to get above these guys right here, right? So we fail to get above these. We start breaking lows, we're going back down. See what they do right here. We're also getting into that lunch hour. You guys got me for about 7 more minutes. The lunch hour, your order flow doesn't get erratic. It just kind of dries up a little bit. So looking to see if it breaks this little low here from 1145. It looks like it's going to. I'm reading this as we're maybe do a little test lower. This is the top side of the value area on the TPO chart. Right here. Notice too, guys, that this is an important note. Let me show you guys this. You guys, so earlier, our POC was right here, but it has shifted up. So from a value standpoint, right, if you're long, you want value to shift higher, but at the same time, this it did not break this high from yesterday. And then look at what we're about to do. Like, we're about to stop one time frame. Looks to me like it wants to blow through that low of the prior period. There is a nice taper up here, like a nice volume taper. Just kind of dwindled out. You get rid of that huge oval on the chart. We're back. We're basically at previous day's VWAP. It may hold yet. Well, I appreciate that, Basil. I do, man. Yeah, it just comes down to again, whether or not I want to continue to expose myself to social media unnecessarily, just for the sake of building a following or whatever. It would be one thing if the space was filled with wonderfully kind people who were out to help each other, and I have no problem with people making money with their time. It's just the toxicity that's in the space really stinks. But I appreciate you coming by, checking it out. I'm probably done for the day, unless this thing breaks one direction or the other. But like I said, I can't continue. So I'm at $3,546. I don't want to go too much more, otherwise it's going to really skew my 30% rule with Apex, and trying to get this payout. Again, just proving that you guys can do it. I hope that you guys believe that you can do it, because until you believe that you can do it, you won't be able to do it. The belief has to come before the results. I want to take a look at something real quick. Chart's going to reload here and recalculate. Just bear with me while I look at something here. Okay. Better go to like a 1,000 tick chart. I'm kind of looking at historical order flow levels here. Yeah, I feel like we're gonna sell off. I thought we were kind of extended, and I was right. Certainly could continue to go higher, but I'm not sure that there's a whole lot of interest right now in buying this gap back up. At least maybe not today on no news. Certainly could, but it's a long haul, right? It's a long haul. Had quite a bit of momentum this morning, order flow, but it's just there's a lot of passive selling going into it. So, all right, guys, we're past 12 o'clock now, and I appreciate everybody tuning in. I think we got up to 14 or 15 viewers today, so that's great. It is motivating. I might come back tomorrow. You guys are stock and longs, again, back down here around neutral and RTH low. You might be able to play something off these other ones. Just look for those divergences, guys. All right. Don't be afraid to scalp in and out some macros. But yeah, like I said, guys, this will probably be one of the last streams that I do. At least streaming every day. But appreciate you guys being here. Appreciate you guys supporting me, for hanging out, and allowing me to get to know you guys a little bit. And I hope you guys have a great day. And I will talk to you guys later. God bless y'all.